Greetings, everyone. This is Coach Toyin. Welcome to today's session. How have you been? How are you today? If you're team replay, greetings to you. I usually come back to engage, so feel free to drop a comment, even if you're watching a replay of this live session. Okay. If you're new to this space, welcome. My name is Toyin Umesiri. Feel free to call me Coach Toyin. When I'm teaching, call me Coach Toyin. When I'm hosting a show or hosting an event, don't worry, just say Toyin. That's fine. But today is really more of a teaching session. Okay, so I want to welcome those joining from around the world. Welcome, welcome. This is going to be a game changer for you if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur. I'm the founder and CEO of Nazarum. I'm the author of Mindset of an Entrepreneur. I'm also the founder of the Entrepreneurs Academy, where I equip first time entrepreneurs with the skills they need to achieve business growth and success. We go a lot deep into mindset work. And you see today, even when I'm going to share with you one of the resources I just released, the integrated one-page sales accelerator. And I'll tell you more about what led to innovating and creating this solution. Okay, so greetings everyone. I know I'm already speaking really fast. If you're already used to my space, you know what to expect. We go deep, we go really really fast, we go high impact, real transformation for tangible results. Okay, no game, no gimmicks. I'm a straight shooter. I get results. Listen, when I'm working with the biggest companies in the world, listen, that's part of my training, serving as a strategist for Fortune 1, on and on. So I can't help it. This is what we do. We get results. We are result oriented. We don't just want to go round and round and round in circles and people wondering, where is this going again? Okay. We have different platforms running. We have Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Clubhouse. I hope I didn't drop or miss any platform, but greetings, everyone. Greetings. Okay. So we can go audio, video. There are different things going on. For those on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, you can see the one-page sales accelerator map. You can see it on the screen. Okay. So this is what I'm going to be speaking to. I'm first going to share with you why did I create this innovative solution when it comes to education, right? Educating entrepreneurs. The main thing is that, listen, if you're starting a business, if you're new to the world of business and you're building a business for the first time ever under this current climate, listen, you're being taken for a ride if you don't develop the skills. It's like, let me share the analogy because I like using stories to help people understand. You're forever going to remember this. Many first-time entrepreneurs, the reason there's a lot of burnout because they're lacking results is because nobody's teaching them, or maybe they are not investing in developing the right skills that will get them results. Just imagine someone going to the stream claiming to be a fisherman but doesn't have tools. The person comes into the stream, they say more content, you're putting more content, you are doing all this work, but you're not realizing that in order for you to get the results you need, you actually require skills. That's the first chapter in my book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur. This book is written for those who are crossing over from employee mindset to entrepreneur. If you want to win in the world of business, you've got to rewire. You've got to retool. You've got to upgrade your thinking. You have to upgrade your skills. Everything has to change. Now, you can spend the next 5-10 years figuring that out, or you can join my school and figure it out faster. Those programs are really an accelerator. Okay. So what's happening is that many people are attempting to build business under this current landscape where we talk about post-COVID, online digital disruption, digital acceleration. Trust me, digital has also disrupted how we do business. Okay. How we do business, the demand and supply of business, what value looks like, what people are willing to invest financially in, what customers and clients considers to be valuable enough for them to pay for has shifted. Okay, there are many solutions that say 5-10 years ago, they would have paid because of scarcity. So this rule of demand and supply, listen, I'm going deep. I'm a business educator. I also train international. I train government. I train advanced business when it comes to export development, trade and investment facilitation. When it comes to working with investors as well. So I'm going to take you there to that very, very, I want you to think like a successful person. Okay. I want you to think. That's what I do for my students. We're nurturing, those who will win in the world of business. That's really the goal ultimately. I want you to win. And many people don't have the skills of winning. so that's something to just watch out for. Okay. I see Sani Tosin joining. Let me invite you. Those who are on the audio platform, you can speak. If you want to engage, you can also use the chat space, whatever you feel comfortable with. I always tell people, when you engage, you will extract more value, right, from the conversation. When you engage, whatever investment, energy, time investment you invest into a space, you will get value from it if you engage. And if you don't engage, you get less value. Many people don't understand the psychology of being involved. Okay, you have to be involved. Many people consume content, but I tell you, content is not what brings about transformation. Your own engagement, your what you do with knowledge, how you digest knowledge, the time you spend taking notes, thinking, processing, right? Analyzing, testing out, what that is what gives you result. Just sitting around consuming content, listen, it just nourishes the mind. It makes the mind feel happy, feel useful. But at the end of the day, if you're a business owner, you have to get results. You're a problem solver, you're a solution provider. And so tangible skill development is also ultimately what gets people results. But as long as people think consuming content alone equal to result, that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is that no, what you do, how you digest information, how you use information, how you consume it, is like eating food. You have to digest it, extract what's useful, and then get rid of what's not useful. But many people right now, there's indigestion, they've consumed too much, and now they are lost some more. So, okay, let's come back to today's engagement. Okay. So on the screen, okay, you see the one pager. Most people today are trying to sell without sales skills, without the knowledge of selling. And so they are unsuccessful. And many people are being led to believe they have to do 1,000 things before they sell. Okay, so let me split this into three. Selling is based on skill. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to develop the skill of selling. You don't have to produce anything to be able to sell somebody else's product. Okay, so when it comes to selling, I try to isolate it from every other thing that is tied to business development, that is tied to actually business structuring. Okay, sales skills by itself is a skill that anybody can invest in, whether they're an entrepreneur or not. I've defined what an entrepreneur is. I mean, so if you followed me for a while, you already know my principle and my philosophy behind entrepreneurship. Someone who has an idea and commercializes that idea, making it commercially viable. What you see in your mind, the ideas in your mind, how you're going to manifest it in such a way that other people believe it's of commercial value and they're willing and able to pay you for it and exchange your idea or product in form of product and services, exchange it for money. So you see that represented on this screen, what I call value management, your product and services, and then money management on the side of the buyer. So you have your products and services or somebody else's product and services that you want to take to market. So maybe you're a sales agent, you're selling on behalf of someone, or you've been the one product, you've created your own products and services. And when we talk about monetization, right, you want to exchange what you've invested time, energy, and resources in. You want to exchange it. Okay. So it's really at the energetic level, it's really a transaction of desire. I say passion sells, desire buys. Passion sells, desire buys. Okay. So when it comes to selling, I created this accelerator. Just listen, it's a class, you take it at toyinumesiri.academy. But I'm giving you a high level view of why this is so powerful. Okay. Is that when it comes to branding, marketing, and sales, if you brand and you market, both of those activities are designed to help you sell faster, sell better. If you don't brand, if you don't market in some way or the other, you will find it very difficult to convince people to buy from you. If they don't know you and you've not developed any relationship with them, you've not had any conversations with them, right? You don't occupy any space in the hearts and the minds of the people. You've not nurtured any type of conversation. You don't have any relationship. We don't buy from people we don't know, or we don't trust, or we don't like. Okay? And we use money to buy the things we desire. Okay? So if your product is not desirable, useful, on and on and on, if people don't know you, no matter what you're saying, we keep walking. Right? By the way, you do this as well. So there's a lot of psychology, human psychology behind this, and then emotional intelligence. The emotional intelligence human design classes. There are 7 classes in my school on human design for the entrepreneur, for the person who wants to build wealth, the wealth builder. Because success require, listen, your relationship with your own energy and the energy of other people, how you build relationships, how you occupy space in the hearts and minds of people, on and on and on, is the ultimate secret of wealth creators. That's not what I'm talking about today. That is another class segment, 7 classes, mastering emotions and feelings, right? Self-awareness, self-leadership, on and on. If you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead other people. And in sales, you have to lead people. Okay, people are coming to you for leadership. So this is the fastest way to teach sales that I've designed. Now, when it comes to structuring your business, the operational side, like I was sharing before, there is the selling, there's the business structuring, then there's the personal development, growing yourself. Because if you don't grow, your business doesn't grow, or your business grows to the extent of your business, of your own growth. I always say, every time you look at your business, you're seeing a part of yourself. You're seeing the way you think. You're seeing it's a mirror of who you are. It's a reflection of who you are, right? Every process in the business is a reflection of the founder. So when you grow, you can grow your business. Excuse me. So one of the things I on this screen, the fastest way to teach sales, right, and help people sell better. There are tons of classes behind all of this. So this is a very high level summarized view. And the first thing that I do here that is extremely important and very, very powerful, and pretty much that's what I'm going to stick with today. You want to take the class in the academy at toyinumesiri.academy, okay? It's an intro course to my school. The first thing I do on this screen, you'll notice, is splitting the concept of value into its psychological expression and its emotional expression. That's the first thing that I do that you're not going to find anywhere else. Is that when you want to sell your product and services, you need to understand that people are not looking for products and services. They are looking for psychological solutions and emotional satisfaction in one way or the other. Okay, something that in the mind is useful and something that satisfies the longing of the heart. Okay, so what I break down in that class, if you look at branding, marketing, and sales, those 3 middle columns, what I break down in that class is how you're going to articulate the value, the psychological value and the emotional value at each stage of the selling process in such a way that it will accelerate your ability to convert your products and services into money. Right? It's about asset speed. How quickly can you persuade a prospect into investing in your products and services financially? How quickly can you do this? This is the game. This is the not game, because I'm tuned for optimization. My first degree is mathematics, right? Solution, like supply chain, all of this advanced business concepts, right? So I'm geared towards optimization. Like, why do you want to go on a wild goose chase, chasing people all over the world? Right? Right? This is what I'm teaching my students in my school. How to be more effective, how to be more efficient, how to get results better, faster. Right? Why do you want to spend a year scouting everywhere when you can actually achieve the results in a day? Yes, it is that important. Why do I say day? Because I work with the biggest companies in the world that are selling every single day. You don't become multi-billion dollar company wasting time. No, 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 no. They bring in human behavioral scientists, psychologists to figure this out. This is what I'm bringing to you, okay, in my school. What the biggest brands in the world know. PhD human behavioral scientists, psychologists, they work on these things. But this first time entrepreneur, right? You have to deepen your knowledge. So that's the value of what I'm bringing in my school. So this is about human behavior, ultimately, sales. Because if you want to influence the actions and how people behave, buying requires a ton of energy, right? A ton of energy. In fact, one thing I say, there's also spiritual psychology part of this, but nothing comes out of anybody's hands willingly until it comes out of their hearts. Okay? I'm dropping a lot of good stuff that if you sit with it, it will change your life. Nothing comes out of anybody's hands. Money, anything, even if it's not just money, anything that somebody's going to give to you. Nothing comes out of anybody's mind without an energetic value to it. Their heart must be open for them to give. Part of branding marketing is to make sure people's hearts are open to you. That's where we talk about relationship building. You cannot sell to somebody whose heart is close to you, who does not know you, who does not open, like when you're conversations open ourselves to one another. This is the human side of this, H to H, human design. This is why we build relationships of trust. Okay, relationship of trust before somebody can put in your hands something that they value. You value your product and services, they value their time, energy, and resources and money. Nobody gives money unless they trust. Even if you're Amazon.com, the reason people go to Amazon.com is that there's a concept of trust. And by the way, can you think back to the world before internet? People say in the 1900s. Go back to the 1900s. Before the world of the internet. Do you remember the first few years of the internet that trust was low? Nobody trusted that if you go to a website, you can put your card on a website and then your money, for a blink, your money just goes down in your bank, and now you're waiting and you're like, listen, where's my money? Where's my product? Where's my service? So one of the things the world of internet and right, e-commerce had to do, and they've done it over years, that allows, excuse me, the likes of Amazon to be able to win online. Many people don't remember that the biggest issue of increasing internet transaction was trust symbols, banking, banks coming behind online, right? Building trust in the marketplace is why online works. And there are many parts in the world that even though they have the technology, when there is low trust, online business does not work. Just in case you are wondering, because we have a global audience here. If you are wondering why e-commerce hasn't taken off in certain parts of the world, is that the technology can be there. If adoption is low, okay, due to lack of trust, nobody's clicking and putting anything on your website. Nobody. So I just took you back to the 1900s. Okay, the 19. Okay, greetings. I see more people joining. So I'm sharing highlights from my new course, the integrated one-page sales accelerator. How quickly you can sell, you can learn how to sell. That's what this course is about. So I'm giving you highlights of why this is so important and why it is a game changer for you if you're an entrepreneur. Okay, it's about speed of transaction. Okay. So when it comes to human psychology, right? When we see a product and services, remember your product and services is just packaged solutions. Okay? So you have to decompose the packaging. You may package it and you are presenting it in a form, but when it is time to explain and tell the story of the story of the solution is what's important. And so in that class, I explain each stage, right? For branding, the key messages you must deliver emotionally, intellectually, that people want to see, that will make them come close to you and pay attention. For marketing, the top three things you must say and communicate, right? To influence IQ, what people think, the usefulness of your products. And I also share top three things you must communicate quickly at the emotional level. Sales, I cover the same thing. And how you present and how it is interpreted, and whatever objection, how you have to address the objection each stage. So, for example, at the sales layer, okay, emotionally, we discuss pain, right? Pain, desires, what struggles, okay, are people going through? That's an emotional, because for every psychological challenge, there's an emotional equivalence. Okay, I'm going more advanced now. This is why I have the EQ human design classes. That's the first class that this is built on. So this is built on several classes. Okay, so those who have taken those classes, you get what I'm saying. And if you have not, I invite you to join toyinumesiri.academy and make that investment into your business, into your future, and develop the skills. Okay. So when I talk about mind, the mind is the information processing system. Again, this might be new to you if you're new to this space, but my students already understand. These are the things that is setting us apart and we're achieving success. Okay. The human mind processes information. When they talk about mindset, okay, good. When you talk about belief system, it's at the heart level. So the mind is set to think in a certain way because the mind governs the actions people take. Again, there's behavioral science behind this. So there's emotional intelligence, human psychology, behavioral science. All of it is wrapped up. And again, the reason I innovated on this is to design the fastest way to teach people sales. So you want to take that course. Okay. So the mind, okay, because again, I study part of sales, you have to understand people. If you don't understand people, you can't sell to people. You can't sell to somebody you don't know, somebody you don't understand, somebody that doesn't know you, somebody that doesn't understand what it is. The communication, right, does not happen. Just think about your boyfriend, girlfriend. Will you marry? I mean, how can you say, will you marry me, when you've not taken time out to get to know one another? Okay. And sales is like that. There's energetic exchange of value on both sides. So there has to be a level of trust and understanding and awareness for that transaction to take place. So value in of itself, when decomposed, when broken down, the mind sees value through usefulness, through what will I do with this product and services. Utility, usefulness is what the mind is always looking for, because the mind is designed to solve puzzles for the heart. It's a supercomputer. So the mind will consider things valuable when it is useful to accomplishing a goal, a set goal. It's like a spoon. Like, so anything that has utility, usefulness. I want to build a house. What do I need to build a house? Whatever those things are, the mind will say these things are useful. And once it is useful, it is valuable. So your job is to make sure your products and services has utility, usefulness, things that people can use to achieve specific goals. The mind is always looking for things that helps it solves challenges and puzzles, right? Because the mind is responsible for achieving on behalf of the heart. If you want to drive, listen, you train your mind, you train your body to drive a car. So anything that teaches you how to drive a car is useful. If you want to cook food, the moment the heart says, I desire spaghetti, the mind will say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. What do we need in order to get and create the reality of the heart? So that gap, okay, between I want this and what do I need to get it, that need, okay, that psychological need is a demand. It's a demand. That is the source of demand in the marketplace. People demand, right? They need things that helps them build the life of their dreams, their business, their life. There's a need. Whenever we say need, right? There's a need. And who determines what the need is? It's the mind. Okay? So you have to decompose. And in that class, I explain how to do this, right? And there are more classes that goes down deeper dive into this. But I'm just giving you a very intro high level and telling you you absolutely need to take this class. So when there is a need, when you're talking about your customer profiles, all this, oh, these, right? I get it. If the mind doesn't perceive that it needs what it is you're trying to sell, they do not see value. Many people are putting the cart before the horse. I'm trying to help you get it straight. If I hear you say, buy this, buy now, buy this, buy now. Here's my product. I can do this for you. I can do that for you. I'm like, When I don't see a need, okay, when it doesn't, what you are saying, what you are presenting, if the mind cannot interpret it and convert it into an energetic need, it's of no use to them. Right? So you are busy out there saying, buy this, buy now, buy now. But the mind is seeking interpretation. When you present something, whether in written form, spoken form, the mind, remember I said it's the information center, it's the information processing center. It takes in information through the senses. So if you're selling physical products, the sense of taste, touch, smell, sight, what else? Feel. When we go to a store, you're selling physical things. When we touch it, when we smell it, when we see it, when we hear the music, when we taste something, the human body activates the senses and sends that information to the mind for processing. And that's where it mixes up with pleasure. Do I like this or not? Do I want it or not? Right? The mind has to process what the senses are sending in. That's for physical products. It gets more dynamic when it's a service. You actually have to activate, and I have a class in my school on storytelling. You have to activate imagination with stories because there's no physical touch. They cannot see what you're saying. They cannot smell what you're saying. They cannot hear it, so they cannot arrive at a decision of whether I want it or not, or whether I need it or not. So when there's no physical sensory touch to whatever it is you're presenting, particularly in the services world, imagination is the only way to convey your story. Right? You have to use the power of stories to explain certain things. So there's a workbook in my school. There are several workbooks, but this one in particular is for storytelling, tales of two cities, how you articulate before, after, during, on and on and on, in such a way that the mind, okay, can see what you are saying. Do you guys understand? The mind needs to see what you're saying. Imagination has to be activated. It has to be unlocked. Physical product is easier. We use the five senses. When it's a service, listen, you have to tell a story. And this helps you do that. And then that class, again, this is built on many classes in my school. Hey, Super Rose, B Nikki, Miriam, T Nicole, good to see you. I see more people on what platform. Say hello. Let's know where you're joining from. Where are you joining from? Drop a comment, drop your notes, drop questions, reactions, anything. Just engage, okay? And do share this, bring in more people. Tell your friends to pull up. This is deep stuff. So the mind must see whether it's right eyesight for product or insight. Insight is what you see inside. The person, your prospect, must see in their own imagination, right? You have to give them a message, a story that allows them to see what you're trying to get them to see. Because services, nothing, right? It's a concept. Okay, who they are going to be in the future, they have to imagine it. What journey you want to take them on, they have to see. This is where insights, when they close their eyes, they must be dreaming about that future for them to desire, because desire is not activated until we see what we want. So that's the job of the mind. The mind will take in everything you are presenting. I'm this, I'm that. I can do this for you. I can do that for you. Oh, this. The mind's like, let me process this information first and see if it makes sense. Does it make sense? But here's the interesting thing, where it gets more dynamic, is that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. No matter what you think is valuable, the beholder will still have to agree with you. And so if they don't agree with you for whatever reason, right, your job is to, you have several decisions to make. Are you talking to the wrong people? That's part of training. Because if you're talking to the wrong people, you can talk from January to December, they are not going to budge. There's a matrix I include in my school, helping people understand who will buy from you and who will not buy from you, and the speed at which you cut off. See, I'm fierce, because there are energy vampires in this realm. This is why we talk about sales qualification process, your ability to qualify, filter out, and filter in people who help you grow your business faster. Remember, speed. How quickly can you grow your business? But many people will be romancing and loving on and giving energy and attention to people who I can quickly see and assess they are not buying from you. Not today, not ever. Now, there is another group of people that I explain to my students that you nurture. So let me take a moment to just say the difference here. When I talk about sales, sales is about action today. Selling is a noun. Now it's really for those who want to seize the moment. People who are ready to take action. Selling is now. Nurturing is over time. So you can keep sending the newsletters, you can keep marketing, you can keep having extended conversations, you can keep inspiring people, you can keep motivating people. That's not selling, that's marketing. But ultimately, that's also supposed to help awaken, activate people over time. So people are supposed to be waking up every single day to the value your products and services can offer them, and they're supposed to be buying every single day. If you do this right. So selling requires immediate action, momentary action. You don't want procrastinators. Procrastinators will not buy today. They will say tomorrow. Keep nurturing procrastinators. Because ultimately, there has to be a sense of urgency for people to buy today. And I include the mind. I break it down in that class. How you create sense of urgency, right? Because without internal sense of urgency, people won't act to now. They won't do, right? It's like people who have toothache. You know you need a dentist, right? They know they need they know they have a toothache. They know there is dentist. They know the address of the dentist. Why then do people not take action immediately? This is where I start talking about blind spot mindsets. That's a category of people that you have to develop a different relationship with. Because I always say, okay, successful people will use money to save time, The other version will use time to save money. It's a mindset flaw. When I say mindset flaw, is people's relationship with time and money is different depending on how successful they are. You get to a certain level in life where you start realizing that time is not a renewable resource. You can't multiply time, but you can multiply money. You can use time to make more money. You cannot use more money to make more time. But most people, this is where I talk about breakthrough results. Most people are not there yet, depending on what you're selling. So when we're selling to most successful people, time is a factor that makes people act immediately. Why? They have an internal sense of urgency. They want to make money today. They want to learn today. They want results now. Okay. Those who want results now, today, will act immediately, will buy. Those who still think they have more time and they want to waste more energy doing, right, following alternative routes, you have to design a different process for them. Those are the people you nurture. Because they're not ready to take action for whatever reason, or they believe a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So they are running after the two in the bush, and the opportunity you are presenting in front of them, they think they will still find maybe something better, something more beneficial for whatever reason. In sales, you have to understand. So that some people will take a look, see what they want, and they say, you know what, let me keep, window shopping. And we are living in a time, YouTube University is there, people will keep shopping. But our job, this is where differentiation comes in. The only way you capture such people is to differentiate, is to tell the story of how your results is different from other people, right? And to challenge them to say, listen, you're not going to find, literally, you're not going to find this solution anywhere else. The fastest way to sell, right? This solution, this is proprietary, this is mine. This is years and years and years and years and years of working for the biggest brands in the world. Okay. When I'm in the boardroom, we're having conversations about multi-million-dollar investment. Yeah, I'm just saying, listen, invest in your own skill. If you want to grow faster, if you want to learn, there's no shortcut to skill development. The shortcut is you get the tools you need. When I say there's no shortcut, okay, let me break it down, because I can almost imagine if you're new here, you may not be used to some of the things I've already explained before. In my book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur, the very, very last chapter, I talk about equation of success, the equation of success. And I try to help people understand how we train. It's about how you can train yourself to become more successful. How you can train your being to become more successful. Knowledge is the starting point. Exposing your mind to high quality information knowledge is so important, because not all knowledge is equal. There is knowledge. Listen, you expose your mind, some of it can take you down, make people hopeless. You can see this, people scroll, you see something, your mind processes it, it affects your emotion, it takes people, right? There is a particular type of knowledge that leads to negative emotions, negative behavior, that voids people of power, depletes people of power. You go and tell your business idea to the wrong person, right? Drain. It's information, right? It's knowledge. It's information. You might listen. Let me bring, in the Bible, for those who are Christian, let me just bring a little bit spiritual psychology. How you have to be careful. Genesis 1. The enemy came to Eve and offered knowledge, quote and unquote. Did God really say? There's a knowledge that steals people's future from them. I'm just trying to say, your job is to be very, very careful to guard your heart, renew your mind. It is your own assignment. So not all knowledge is equal. Many people will be scouting the internet, touching things they should never touch, listening to things they should never touch. Now they are confused and they are wondering why. You've exposed yourself to something, what I call nonsense. So you actually have to learn how to filter What's happening? Because many people can be in the basement somewhere typing this or hiring photographer, hiring videographer, and doing make believe. And you are following them. They will lead you to exactly the life they are living energetically. Okay, you know what? Let me wrap that up. That's I'm not going to let me not touch that again. Yeah, so I'm just saying, not all knowledge are equal. There's a particular knowledge that will ascend, take you to higher ground. When I say quantum leap, this is the knowledge you ought to be investing in. The knowledge that you spend time. I'm trained by, world leaders, right? This is where you're supposed to be putting all your time and energy, sitting at the feet of people who have done the things you want to do, and they are willing and able to guide you to your future. That is what is valuable. The most valuable thing is people who care about you and are ready and willing to show you the way to a higher path for your life. That's what you are supposed to be putting your money, time, energy. That's what you are supposed to be chasing every single day. Higher levels of thinking, higher levels of exposure, higher levels of relationship. That is where, if you are called to leadership, if you are called to success in any dimension, that ought to be your full-time job. That ought to be your full-time job. But here's the key. Many people drag their mind back into gutter. When I say, listen, hear me well. The mind must ascend to the future you're trying to go to. Your mind must see. Your mind must comprehend. Your mind must understand. Your mind must accept what your heart desires. Whatever you want for your future, your mind must be nourished into that dimension. You have to start thinking how you ought to be thinking and seeing, and right, that work is where education comes in. If you want to be a doctor, you want to be a pilot, you want to be an engineer, the mind must be nourished to think like an engineer so that you can perform like an engineer, to think like a pilot so that you can perform as a pilot. But if you say you want to be a doctor and then you are going to YouTube University, I mean, it will give you some stuff, it will give you good things. Now, if you're a doctor, you can use YouTube University better because you know how to filter out nonsense from good information. But when you don't have the skill to filter out and you're just eating and exposing your mind to everything, this is what is causing issue in the world. Those who know what to do can discern good from bad. Those who don't know, right? It's like the blind cannot see that they are being led by the blind. But the people who can see, we are saying, you will soon fall into a ditch, you and your leaders. Okay. I see Ekau saying, not all knowledge are the same. Obviously, right? In the Garden of Eden, the serpent came and said, did God really say? These are the knowledge that bring doubts and steals people's power. And so many people now, you've sat on internet 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. You have your business idea. Where is the business? And many people will tell me, oh, yeah, Toyin, your university, I will come to your school. Oh, I know I should invest. 1 year goes by. The same thing they said in January, come December, same thing. What did you use in a year? Pursuing knowledge that weakens, that doesn't empower, that doesn't educate, that doesn't mobilize, that doesn't teach you how to do what you're supposed to, because you don't really need a year. But here's the key. Many people will make energetic investment, meaning they will use their energy on a wild goose chase. But when a solution is presented to them in front, their mind will say, it's too expensive. What is really expensive is the year wasted pursuing the wrong knowledge. That's so you have to know this. Know this for yourself and also know this of your clients and customers. So 2 ways. Be careful if you're an entrepreneur. Don't fall into the gimmick. Okay? Don't fall into a trap that makes you believe that wasting time is equal to getting results. No. In order to get results, you have to be precise. You have to apply clarity. right? You have to be focused in one direction. If you want to go from point A to point B, you need one roadmap. Imagine if somebody is giving you 10 roadmap. This is what leads to confusion. You want to cook food, you need one recipe. If I give you 10 recipes, if I even give you 2 recipes, how do you reconcile the differences? Because people have different recipe. And so what's happening is people don't understand the fastest way to get a result is to sit with an expert, right? And learn from one expert. The moment you start exposing your mind, confusion leads in. You know why? No matter how much food is put in front of you, you're not supposed to eat too much. Just because not, there's abundance of all kinds of things you can scroll through, skip through, do all these things, doesn't mean 247 you ought to be exposing your mind. There's actually information overload of the mind. That's one of the things happening in today's world. Young people are facing it, adults are facing it too. Is that we can't say because we're living in abundance, people put food and then every minute, every hour you're eating food. You will overwhelm your digestive system and you're not going to like the way you feel, right? The stomach will be enough. Let me digest the one that you ate for breakfast. That's why we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We don't eat every hour. But many people today, they overwhelm the mind. When the mind sleeps at night and it wants to process everything you've exposed it to, you wake up, most of those things end up in trash. It's not useful. Why am I saying this? Know it for yourself, but also know that many people are trashing many of the things you're putting in front of them. So part of what I teach in this course is how to be very, 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 very precise what you are communicating. That what your communication is effective, that people don't doubt what you're saying, right? When you talk about thought leadership, right, is that when you speak, when you present, this is who you are, this is what you can do for the people, these are the results and outcomes you can deliver, that there's clarity and anybody reading it understands it. Anybody reading, listening to you ought to know who you are, what you can do for them, the outcomes and the results you can get for them. That's the assignment. It's not just this volume of, drama, this. No. If you can get someone, listen, this works. I've gone from cold sale, right? Selling, I'm assuming people understand cold, warm, hot leads, right? Let me just make that assumption. This thing I'm teaching, right? It's a science where within an hour, you can engage somebody that is cold. You've never met them, they've never seen you. And in an hour, you can sell them. Even less than an hour. I've done it, right? That's why I can put this thing together and start teaching other people to do it. Now, people will say, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to. I get it. There's a whole other class, 10-week accelerator, when it comes to business structuring, when it comes to sustainability, right? Automation, how to repeat these results, legacy business. I have those things too in my school. This is how quickly to teach somebody to get right result. When you do the course today, before the end of today, you ought to be selling. That's the goal of this class, this course. Right? Now, you go deeper, right, with other programs. But this one, I just launched it to say, many people want fast result. This is the fastest result, this course. Okay, the integrated one-page sales accelerator, right? It's integrated, it integrates branding, marketing, sales. It integrates psychology. It integrates emotional intelligence. It integrates the concept of desire, right? It also talks about objections, presentation. Listen, I talk about impact, transformation, result. In this one page, you also access the course training video. You print this out and you do the assignment. You listen to the video guide telling you what to do, how to fill in the top three, right? One, that's like how many there, right? 9, 18. 18 things you must do and say to get the sale. Okay, 18 things you must do and say to get the sale done quickly. Okay, any questions so far? I know I've said so much, right? Okay, I'm looking. We have, again, like I shared, we have different platforms running. I love this. I want to give people time. I know sometimes I'm moving so fast. Cynical. People always tell me, listen, we are still processing. We're still thinking. Yeah. Eka, are you still thinking? Questions, comments? Okay. So decomposing the concept of value really is on the helping people understand, like, first the human design, how we are wired, how humans are wired. Let me just go to the let me bring myself to the main screen. Okay, for those on the video. So this is about how we are wired as people. Okay. Our mind processes information. Ask me a question on what does the heart process. You see, the heart is what gives, it's the resource management, energy management, the heart. If the heart is closed, if the heart, excuse me, excuse me, when the heart is not open, hmm, when the heart is closed, nobody's taking any action. Nobody. People can sit like this and spend an hour and listen and listen and listen. And after an hour, thank you so much, walk away. Why I teach this class is you split it in, you can be intellectually savvy, telling people, oh, features and benefits, features and benefits. And oh, yeah, I hear you. Oh, features and benefits. The lower part of this, the emotional intelligence part that I cover in that course, is you want to engage the human heart. I teach you how to engage the human heart in your conversations. Okay, how to engage the human heart. You can be engaging the human mind and presenting, smart things, because the mind loves, like, tech. Oh, I'm the best, I'm this, I can get. Yes, the mind can fall in love with your product and services, but here's what happens with human design. And I'll give you a story just to help you understand what I'm trying to explain. If the heart says to the mind, okay, let's say the mind asks the heart, what do you want for dinner? And the heart says, I want spaghetti. Okay, this is as humans, you're having a conversation with yourself constantly. People talk to each other within themselves. So as you're speaking to people, please know that there is a conversation. It could be an argument, it could be a fight, it could be you know that we're wired that way. The heart and the mind is constantly engaging. Even part of the spiritual psychology work that I help my students to go on is making sure that the mind listens to your heart and does not cut your desires into small bits. Meaning, when you dream about a big future for you, if you present it to an untrained mind, the mind will start telling you, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you don't have this, you can't do this. And this is what leads to fear, doubts, limitations. Oh, I can't do this, I can't. You now hear people lock themselves into an echo chamber of doubt, fear, and limitation. And it becomes an internal roadblock. It becomes a cage. So this is something that I've taught in the human design classes, because when God is telling you there's a promised land, you can start a business, you can be this, you can be rich, you can be wealthy, you can be legacy. The heart receives, the heart knows your future, but your mind has been taken to your past. So if you don't deal with your past, the past will deal with your future. Within that context, I tell people, apply it here. When you're talking to people, the past and the future can still be fighting. If the future doesn't win the fight, the mind will keep people in the past. Survival. The future will be saying, we can do this, we can do that. You're seeing yourself grow bigger, 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 achieving more, 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 achieving success. That's the vision God has for you and I. God will tell you all things are possible to them that believe. But people will now start applying small mind, small thinking. If you have a small mind and a small thinking, that small mind will tell you to fold up your dreams and fold it into the bite size that your mind can comprehend. The heart's desire must fit into the mind's capacity. This is why training and education is the best thing you can do for yourself. If you have big dreams, please get your mind to be big too, to be a big thinker. Because small thinking mind will cut down your dreams into what it can manage. You say you want to build a skyscraper, your mind will say, where do you start from? The mind is not trained to build you a skyscraper. It will tell you, you know what? Let's see, you should start with one room first. You know, small mind will say, don't go for the big stuff. Oh, that is too much. It will tell you, cut it down, cut it down, cut it down, cut it down, cut it down. Right? And this is an internal play. When people see big things that can take them into a future, they start cutting that. It's too expensive. They start saying it's too expensive. Trust me, the mind, the future God has for you is expensive. The future that will bet dreams, wealth for you is expensive. Success doesn't go on sale. The question is, only those who pay the price will ever see it. Only those who invest what it takes will see what God has for them. Guys, get it right. So there are many people you'll be telling them, buy this, buy now. This is the solution for the future. But if that mind is set on limitation, on fear, on doubt, that stuff will just, they can't believe. And people who don't believe, they don't take action. This is why. Now you can see why I created 7 classes on emotional intelligence. Deal with that stuff. Conquer your fears. Conquer your doubt. Conquer every limitation. Get the tools that will help you, right? Train yourself for the big dreams sitting in your heart. Train your mind to come along on that journey. Get your mind to be a big thinker. You know, remember years ago they said, think big. The heart can receive big. The challenge when it comes to manifestation is, if I tell you can be a surgeon, if you don't bring your mind along, if you don't train the mind, if you don't put those books into your mind, if you don't put the knowledge into your mind, you cannot still function as a surgeon, no matter what dreams are. The same thing applies in the world of business. Your business will only get as big as your mind can contain. This is just facts. Excuse me, facts. So when you see people building multi-billion-dollar businesses, they've trained their mind. They've trained their mind. They have trained their mind to function at that level. And so if you don't take your mind to that level and you keep your mind doing minimal mind, don't blame anybody, please. God will give you the big dreams, but you are responsible for training your mind. Know that as well. So when I talk to people, when I'm teaching people, I've seen this. That's why I say, okay, deal with that. Emotional intelligence. There are 7 classes. Deal with emotional intelligence because you're going to need it, right? EQ. Lack of EQ is why people grow up and give up. You are right. Have gone deeply into the psychology of this. I've gone deeply, right? So if you are new to the space, welcome. Go deeper. Go to my school. Go deeper. There's a lot of stuff I share. Is that people give up because of lack of awareness, lack of the skill to self-regulate. Because for every, let me not go there. Let me stay focused today. And I see some comments like I feel like there are some new people. There are new people watching this, so let me not shock you too much. Okay. Favor says, oh, Ekal says still processing. Yes, let's process this. Hurry up. Okay. If you don't build your mind, it will keep you in the past. Yes, okay. The concept is that the training of the mind is tied to exposure. Everything, when you talk about consciousness, is that since you were born, you are actually carrying around in your being, you have database, you have information, you're an information processing being. I hope people understand. There's another class I talk about storytelling. Okay. We digest stories, we make meaning of stories, you build identity on stories, you build reality, you manifest out of the stories you tell yourself. If you tell yourself one story, your mind, everything goes down that story. If you tell yourself, I can do this, I believe, oh yeah, then your mind will rise up to the level of the stories you tell yourself. That's another class. Part of the EQ. The story you tell yourself, the one you believe, is the one you manifest, whether they are true or not. Once you attach your energy to any story, you will create it and it will become your reality. So you have to be careful with that. So yes, the mind does a lot of things, which I explain. There are many classes in my school. Enroll, learn this thing, change your life. Okay. So you are the mind is your own responsibility. Jesus said, renew your mind, guard your heart. He saved your soul for the afterlife. But here, to achieve, to manifest, that it will be done, whatever you're going to do in the physical realm. Right? When I teach spiritual psychology, for those who are believers, yes, you are blessed. Yes, in fact, the ideas that will create your future, God probably has already showed you. Everybody has ideas, right? That idea is a seed of a future, a possible future. It's that idea holds within it potential. This is what we call potential energy, but you have to convert it to kinetic energy. Except a grain falls to the ground, the life inside it won't yield, right? The tree that will produce the fruits, then the fruits that will produce more seed, the seed that will now produce this generational blessing, generational wealth, starts with one person who nurtures an idea, receives it, and invests in that idea, time, energy, and resources. Remember, I talked about the heart. The heart is what allocates resources. The mind processes information, but the heart has to give permission. So when we talk about desire, wants, belief system, value system, they are a function of the heart. They give permission. So when the mind wants to do certain things, the heart can totally say, no, 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 no. There's no time now. Who procrastinates is an untrained mind. An untrained heart. So there are certain things the mind that is untrained will keep people in the past. Okay? The heart that is not protected will keep resources from the future. Do I need to? Maybe I'll break that down a little and then close for today. Take the class, Toyin Umesiri Academy. Let me close this. Okay, let me expand this. Okay, good. For those who are on the video, you can see my full face now. Let me go deeper. The mind and the heart. This is so deep. It will change your life. It's part of the human design. The mind processes information, input, process, output. What you feed your mind listens to your thoughts. It takes it as instruction. It will process it. And one of the outputs of the mind is what we call emotions. It's an indicator of what's going on in your mind, what type of information you're processing in your system. Let me go deeper into this. This will change somebody's life. How you feel in your body is based on your decisions about certain stories, certain thoughts. There's a class, Mastering Emotions and Feelings. I explain the difference between emotions, right, and feelings. They are not the same. Go to the class, learn it, because you have control on these things. Generally speaking, your mind uses the central nervous system, right? It uses the central nervous system. You know that the central nervous system has electricity and chemicals, right? This is where the metaphysical, your thoughts, nobody can touch your thoughts. That's why the reason I'm teaching this, and I teach it deeply in my school, is because when it is time to sell, the day you master humans, you will sell better, because you will become more gentle, more understanding, and you'll be able to serve and nurture and help people more better in life. You will not be complaining. You will not be wondering, how are they not buying? Why are they not this? Why are they not responding? Why are they not this? All those questions, right? You're supposed to find answers to it. It's lack of understanding of how people are, how we are, who we are, what motivates us, why we do what we do. This is part of human behavior. Listen, we behave in a way that suits us based on the way we think. Okay, so when you say buy now, you can't make anybody buy anything. You can't make anybody do anything. But I mean, there's a lot of side of control, mind control. I don't do that. But here's the key. I can give you something to think about, but I'm not going to think for you because your mind is your own property, right? But many people's mind has been hijacked by thoughts that didn't originate from them. And those thoughts, if you don't filter it out, I talk about red, yellow, green, right? Emotions of fear, right? Emotions of doubt, an emotion of check, go, right? Is that if you start processing information negatively, literally you are pressing a brake on your own life. You cannot move forward because the energy for mobility that the body needs to take specific action is a go. It's a go energy. This is why there's a type of knowledge and information that enlightens you, opens you up for more energy to flow in your system. And when energy is flowing, when you are happy, when you are joyful, you'll be jumping up, you have more energy in your system, and you can do more things. You can dance. This is when we talk about well-being, overall well-being of the mind and the body. And if you don't learn how to process emotions well, when it goes through, there's some thoughts that just you clamp up. It can't, you can't move. You're like, when somebody says, "Let's go, come and show up," people like, you don't have time, you don't have money, you don't have this. It's an energetic disturbance. Because if you actually know how you're wired, the things I teach, you will know that things that are seen are made out of things that are unseen. And those unseen things are your own thoughts. You manifest your own thoughts. And so in a moment, you can create money from nothing. This is advanced stuff, guys. I won't go too deep into that. Take coaching, reach out. So actually, you are never in lack. You are never in lack. Never in lack. Never in lack. Because you know what? This mouth is what you are going to use to make money. Sales, branding, marketing is all about communication. You can go to anybody. If you have the skills, you take this class. You can go to anybody. You don't even have to make a product. You can go and negotiate and tell somebody, I'll help you sell your own product. Let's sign some agreement. I'll sell your products for you. And then you sell it, you take commission. Many people don't understand that sales is the ultimate skill of world builders. That's why they don't invest in it. Nobody tells you, right? Anybody that can sell is set. Let me wrap it up here. A ton of resources in my school for those who want to change their life forever. And then you pass it on to the next generation, because I also released the class for parents. This thing is so powerful, so important that I invested time, created another class. That class is free. To say many of the things people are struggling with is tied to childhood, not being raised by successful, wealthy people. And you are trying to build wealth and you've adopted the wrong mindset that you have to rewire. Can you do this work and then train the next generation so that you set them up to be unstoppable? That's what that class is about. Okay. I've given you, are you guys to any other, like, I want to wrap this up. Let me just wrap this up. Head over to toyinumesiri.academy, first name, last name, .academy, to take the one page integrated sales accelerator. Is the fastest way to learn how to sell. I also encourage you to take the human design classes. You will change your life, not just your business, all your relationship will change, because it's a relationship between you, and then you and the rest of the world. When you talk about wealth creation, self-mastery, all of those things, you will gain more personal power to put behind your future. The heart is where energy comes and gives permission. If you don't care for your heart, right? If you don't train yourself to manage your energy, many people are not energetically inclined to pursue success. If you hold back everything your future needs, if the heart keeps saying, you don't have this, you don't have that, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, okay, you are repeating the pattern, you are manifesting it. You know what it creates? It creates exactly what you said. You don't have, you don't have. You cannot, don't have time. When is the time? Until you create the time, until you prioritize that future. The future doesn't arrive. What arrives is what you create, what you believe. You manifest your own belief, right? So if you believe you don't have time, you manifest that reality. If you believe you have time, you will create time. You manifest your own reality. I go deeper into manifestation because, again, you cannot be adopting a way of thinking that is counterproductive and then you tell me you want to build wealth. You cannot be thinking in a way that will not build wealth. And you can't, it doesn't work that way. You have to change belief system. There's another class I talked about belief system, values. I teach all these things like line by line, helping people. Because why? When I say quantum leap at the dimension level, this is an inner work. Quantum leap is your own being. Because the way the world is designed, when you change, everything around you will change and respond to your own voice. You are the one to unlock your wealth, but that wealth is inside you. You have to, it's an inside out part. Many people are trying to fix external stuff. Trust me. Leave external stuff for a moment. Do the inner work first, and you will change your life forever. This is what we ought to be doing. Many people are just taking more content, more content, more. Listen, more content that doesn't challenge you to write the right story, to confront your past. Make sure you are not dragging wrong belief system, wrong identity, wrong limitation into this future, because these things, many of them cannot go there with you. They ought not to go there with you. When you do this work, you start seeing things fall off. Bible say things are easily beset. There are many traps you need to let go. But okay, I don't want to go too deep in too much today. Thank you everyone that has joined. I'm going to leave you with a video. If you haven't followed my work in the international trade space, this video would give you a nice intro. Okay, and then I invite you to learn more. So I'm going to leave you with that video now. Okay, bye everyone.